So I have been in business since 2021. I got my license, actually my first one in January of 2021. And then by June-ish, I got DC as well, Virginia, and North Carolina. So I have 4 real estate licenses.
Oh, exactly. See, I was wrong. 4. Hey gang, this is Mike Headley. We are back. Another great episode on the Headley Group Real Estate Show. We are in-house, and we are in-house with one of our own. One of our own meaning it's the second time around. She's an alumni of the show. Great accolades about her. Licensed in 3 or 4 states. She'll correct me if I'm wrong. Currently in college, about to graduate. She's soon to be 21 years old. You heard all of them licensed. She's about to have a degree soon, move on. We talked about PhD, all that good stuff. Let's give a warm welcome to Miss Yentell James. How you doing? Oh man, listen. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So we are, one thing about our show, now we can go live so if you want to put that out there to the people, we can do that. One thing about our show is we want to highlight real estate professionals, whether you're doing investing or all kinds of entrepreneurship. But there's no better way than talking with someone in-house to highlight what they're doing. So Yentell, you've been in business as far as having your license. Tell us how long and correct me with all of the licenses you do have.
So I have been in business since 2021. I got my license, actually my first one in January of 2021. And then by June-ish, I got DC as well, Virginia, and North Carolina. So I have 4 real estate licenses.
Oh, exactly. See, I was wrong. 4 of them right there. And I only have 1. 4 real estate license. And let me ask you, is it quite common? Because since DMV, everything is like 15, 30 minutes away for people to have the mini license or not?
Sometimes it's common, other times it isn't. But being that I have DC, Maryland, and Virginia, if somebody has a client and are solely looking in Maryland, then they change. Well, I want something in DC or Virginia out. I get past that client sometimes, or they'll refer me out. So it's good. It offsets with all the costs of having them.
So did you have to go to each state, sit down, take the class, or was it reciprocity?
The reciprocity for DC and Virginia was solely just me taking their state exams. I didn't have to take the national exam again. I did have to sit in for a couple-hour course for fair housing for DC. And then Virginia made me do 30 hours of post-licensing education. Got
you. Which state was the hardest? Which one?
I think my first one was the hardest.
And who was state? That was DC.
Maryland.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was just because I took the exam before I really learned much about the industry from college or anything else. So it was really me learning solely from the course.
Gotcha.
So now that once it came to my other licenses, I had the practical experience. I took the first exam. I learned a couple things from school. So you're getting the other 3.
Okay. So that's more academia. Where did it come from you to say, I need to get a real estate? What was that spark?
Well, I think I mentioned this in the last video.
That's right. We got new people. We got new followers. They need to hear this, right? Because you might say, hey, I see myself in Yentell. Tell me her story.
So my dad is an agent in the industry. Well, he's more on the investor side right now. But when I was younger, I used to go with him on different showings or passing out flyers or inspections and things like that. So I got to learn a little bit.
When you was a little girl. You see that? Now, I got to inject people out there. Have children, pour into them what your father did, and this is what you possibly can get. But carry on. Let's add that.
But that's pretty much how I learned about real estate. then in the midst of COVID, there was really not much for me to do. So I kind of went into a deep dive as it pertained to figured out what I wanted to do.
Okay. So now we okay, let me actually say it because again, let's be in full transparency. It took me three or four times to pass the test. Are you like first time each one?
So for my first exam, Maryland, I passed the Maryland on my first try. I failed the national by 1 point.
Oh,
yeah.
I was there.
Yes. And then I had to retake the national 2 more times before I passed. But the other 3, I passed on the first try.
Nice. Because, so many times, I hear people.
You did North Carolina.
Huh?
You have your North Carolina license.
Yeah.
They say that's the hardest one.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
I didn't know. Oh, but listen, that's why I failed it 3 or 4 times. I'm talking about I was 1, 2, 3, and I was just like, man, I said, but me, who I am, I'm kind of resilient. I'm like, I'm not letting this thing defeat me. I keep going. And I know people who took it 2 or 3 times, like, that ain't for me, they gave up. Because I was like 1 point away, 2 points away. But I didn't know North Carolina was the hardest one. Is it really?
That's what I've been told a lot of the time.
Okay.
So when people ask me about getting their license, I always say, get Virginia and then get North Carolina off of reciprocity because you don't have to take the exam.
Yep. You hear that, Jewel? Wow. Listen, I didn't even know that. Great, Jewel. Get licensed in Virginia, reciprocity, which you just take the state exam.
No state exam.
Oh, no state exam.
You do 90 hours of post-licensing education.
Okay.
You just have to pass the class exams.
Wow. You see, what they call that? That's the plug, right? Hey. She just dropped us. That was a good one. Actually, we're going to highlight that there. So now, father, he's an investor. Is he a contractor as well? He's general contractor.
Yes.
Nice.
My dad runs his operations from start to finish.
And you see this pouring into your children. He got his license. Well, he was licensed first at GC.
He had his real estate license first. Then he got his GC license.
GC license. Nice. Okay. So now as a result, poured into his daughter, and now she's continuing to do great things. So now let's make steps towards your growth. I'm still shocked, not shocked, but still the word and belief with a sense of, wow, she's really doing that. How are you maintaining school? Because currently you're in college. Okay, now you mind letting the people know where you go to school at?
I go to North Carolina A&T State University.
And as we say, Aggie.
Pride.
That's right. That's right. So, and actually, Devontae, our film guy in the back, he went to A&T as well. So we just A&T all up in it. So you're at A&T, and what is your classification?
I'm a junior.
Junior.
And
okay.
I double major in business management and then marketing with a concentration in sales.
God is at one major, business management. She's double majoring. So how are you handling all of these? First of all, how many classes are you taking in?
This semester I am taking technically 7 classes.
7. Okay.
Unintentionally.
And these are 3 credits per class.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And we all know in school, well, in my opinion, some classes it does not hold as much weight as others. So what classes are they?
The heaviest class that I have right now is operations management.
That's a beast.
Very much.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a mix of the engineering side of business and then business management because it's a lot of math involved.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely pushes me.
Gotcha.
But as it pertains to my easiest classes right now, it has to be marketing classes like consumer behavior and detailing.
Okay. Actually, when I was there, they called it production management. I guess they changed the words around. Still hard. Yeah, still hard. So what? So now, okay. Now that you've taken, you said 4 classes.
So,
7.
on campus,
okay,
I am taking 6, and 1 got added because of the study abroad class, and then
get the microphone. Okay,
1 got added because of the study abroad class, and the other one, I don't know how I got put into it, but it's a real estate development certification at Cornell University. So
they reached out to me.
I don't know how I got it.
And you just in the course.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, yeah, they want money out of me.
Oh no, I got it.
Well, I need that plug there because actually I was interested, but then it was like I think it was like $3,800 or something like that. $3,500. See, but you're getting it for free. Yeah. All of a sudden, you just end the course.
Yes, I think somebody up in administration put me in it.
I tell you see that? So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm glad that I'm in it because I'm learning a lot. But the addition on the workload, I mean, it's not ideal.
Like, it's literally coursework.
It's coursework. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Projects, assignments, readings. It's a full
And
course.
it's how long does it last?
I honestly am not sure.
Okay.
I just finished the first course, and I'm in the second one now. I think it's supposed to last until the summer.
Summer. Okay. See, this really shows how much range you have in your mental capacity, because here you have your regular schoolwork. Now somebody puts you in another course, and you're taking that on as well, and her real estate stuff. So, while you're doing this, usually something lacks, right? Because we all know when we doing our career things, sometimes, I always say, if you say yes to something, you say no to something else. What is that thing that you said, well, let me put this onto the side now, because this right here is more of a high priority?
Relaxation.
There it is.
So I am slowly fixing that. But these past couple of months, I have been running myself rampant, working nonstop between class, case studies, fixing business stuff.
Okay.
But now it's back in more of a routine that is manageable as pertains to myself and my work. So we're fixing it, but it's a work in progress.
So let me ask you, are you very goal oriented?
Yes, I am.
Gotcha. Yes. And because it takes that attitude, that approach to say, I'm gonna take so much on, and you're willing to be uncomfortable for the moment. So do you look at it as this is temporarily? Like, how do you look at that?
I do. Everything I do is solely based on my end goal or where I want to be. So a little bit of being uncomfortable for a week, 2 weeks, a month is worth it, meaning that I can enjoy my summers or enjoy my actual adulthood, if you will, because I'm only 20. But
go ahead. I'm a comment in the second.
So that's the way I look at it, and so far it's been working for me. Sometimes I need to relax a little bit. So I'm learning to have a rhythm to it, if you will. So it's not just work nonstop, but having a good consistent period of work and then a good consistent period for recuperating. Okay.
Which is, we all know you need that relaxation, because I think the last thing what can happen is being burnt out. Have you touched that? I'm quite sure yes. A few times, right? But when you get to that, well, let me back it up. How do you know? And I'm going somewhere with this in terms of with the real estate and just being an entrepreneur. How do you know when enough is enough at the moment?
My body gives me certain cues.
Okay.
So I might have a headache, or I might have to wear my glasses more, because my glasses are only supposed to be. But if I feel like my sight is a little bit blurred, then I'm like, okay, I need to slow down. I need to slow down. I need to get more rest. I need to eat more. I need to relax. So I pick up on certain cues because I've learned my body.
Yes.
So when I pick up on those cues, then I try to slow down, get more sleep, eat more nutritious foods. Sometimes I'll just take a day and literally lay around all day.
That's it. You need that. Now you really need that.
Are you looking for a real estate brokerage to help you buy or sell your property? The Headley Group Realty is here to assist you with that process. We also hire brokers to join us and give them the best training and mentorship, leading to a great office atmosphere and an attractive commission structure. Our goal is to show homeownership at the highest professional level and empower the real estate business. If you're interested in buying or selling your property, visit www.theheadleygroup.com or call us at 336-904-6212. We look forward to partnering with you.
And one thing that she says that hopefully you all do, and I do as well, pay attention to the indicators, red flags, the signs. They will tell you, stop, slow down, take a breather. Because again, we it's like the hustle, but then we have to have that time just to kind of hit the refresh button like a computer. Segue into the wonderful world of real estate, which our viewers want to know, because I want to give them the backstory of who you are. Transactions, dealing with the buyer, dealing with the seller in experience in the business, have you had a situation where you didn't just want to work with this buyer? It was like, damn, like, but I'm gonna keep my composure. I'm gonna make it happen. And no fault literally of your own. You was the professional, but maybe their lack of, what I mean by lack of, they had a cousin, aunt, sister, brother, father who was influencing them, which impedes your professionalism, or not professional, as far as you helping them through the process. Have you had that?
I have.
Share a story, please.
So we sold her first home.
Okay.
And then she had to buy a new home. This was when the seller's market was very hot.
Okay.
So, of course, it was hard for her as a buyer to find a home. And there was a couple times I was able to get her under contract, and then she changed her mind. And, of course,
while you was under contract?
While we were under contract.
Okay.
But, of course, because she had the
section
contingency.
Correct. Okay.
She could get out the contract.
Okay. Is she losing money?
If she was losing money, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have. Okay. But I think that happened 2 or 3 times. And at that point, I have probably showed her at least 15, 20 properties and wrote at least 7, 8 contracts.
A lot of time and gas. Yeah.
So, I mean, I continued to do my part, and as she asked, it made it very clear that we have to make a decision because we can't keep extending her rent back. And I want to help her buy the house that she wants to, but she has to be very clear on what she wants. And she never made that decision. So she ended up renting for a little while. Okay.
So what was the, again, we don't want to call names or locations, but we keep it real on the show. What was going through your mind? Like, what was you saying? Again, if it's, well, whatever you want to express, what was you saying to yourself? Because again, the audience is probably feeling what you're talking about. So what was going through your mind?
I was very frustrated, not only because of the fact that I was doing so many showings, it was also that I was writing all these contracts and I was really advocating on her behalf. I was speaking to the listing agents and just pushing the button, telling them, well, she's the best person you're going to get for this, and just pushing it for her so she can get the house. And then we get under contract, and she changed her mind. So not only did it possibly affect my reputation, I just put in so much work for it not to even go through. So I was very frustrated, but it was a learning curve. I mean, I felt like it was something every agent should go through, because you have your very easy clients, and then you have those clients that just push you. So I felt like it was needed.
Now you see, people, she literally gave you the spill for those who think about getting to the business, that you can do that much output, that much input, right? Back. So, and it just happens. And I'm an advocate. Clearly, we don't want no one to go through hell, so to speak. But them experiences is good. Like she just said, learning her perspective. It says, I'm gonna learn from this.
I got better at writing contracts.
See, that's good though. That was her nugget. What can I get out of this? I didn't make no money. I didn't sell anything, but I got better at writing contracts. And that's the perspective that I think you have to have in this business. Listings. What do you prefer? Buy or sell?
I prefer sellers.
We all do.
All the way.
Gotcha.
Sellers all the way. I feel like it's a lot more manageable with my plate.
Correct.
And I prefer to find comps than to write contracts. So I prefer sellers.
Actually, so people talking listings.
Yes.
And so as you're going through the process of working with sellers, do you like investors? Yeah, give it to us real now, Yentell.
It depends, because sometimes investors they're stuck with this certain number and they will not move from that number. But in order to be competitive, sometimes you have to move from that number. And
correct.
Paying cash, that gives some type of incentive. But at the end of the day, people want the most money possible.
Exactly.
So sometimes that's a little bit of the issue I have with working with some investors, but investors are usually consistent. So I do like that.
Correct. And the reason why I ask you that is because, and I'm going to say it, sometimes y'all waste our time right? So what I usually do is I do a criteria sheet on it. And what I mean by that is, what are you looking for? Next thing they tell me exactly, or bedroom, this particular area. So I say, well, what exactly are you willing to pay on the dollar for a property? Do you have a cap? 80%, 70%? When they tell me, I get it, I invest, you want it for nothing. But when they say to me, I'm trying to get it for 60 cents on the dollar, I already say, okay, well, I'm gonna put priority lists. You may not be as high, right? Because at the end of the day, because I'm looking at the market, I'm looking at the MLS.
One time I gave the investor comps to show that the house was actually worth well more than the value it was listed at. Mm-hmm. And he wanted to put in an offer for, I think, at least 40-50% less and thought he was going to get it.
And then shock, I didn't get it. No, you didn't get it. You presented in the comps.
Yeah.
So they don't want to deal. They want to steal. Basically.
Depends. I mean, some do. Some actually
do.
Pay what it's worth. But
some pay what it's worth. So what do you think about this market we're in? Clearly a shift within the last, 6 months?
Yeah.
I mean, literally shift. And your home is where?
I am a military brat, but I claim Maryland.
Okay, she claimed Maryland. Okay. So that whole Maryland, can we say DMV area? Okay, DMV. I love the area. So the DMV area, what clearly then, and we're in North Carolina now, if you gave your opinion on where do you see things, right? As far as where it can be in the next year from now in the markets.
Honestly, a lot of things.
Now, let me interject. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because all this research you're doing at Cornell, you can give us a great
they have me doing real estate development stuff.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to talk about that as well, but go ahead.
I mean, honestly, I'm very interested as how things are going to play out nationally, maybe because of the bank issues right now.
Bingo. Okay.
And how that's affecting mortgage rates.
Yes.
So I think there might be some shifts in a positive way, but I honestly can't pinpoint anything right now.
We appreciate that. So you could have sit up here and said, well, I think basically, no. I don't quite, because I think it is a big question because things can change like that, right? They might say, we're going to drop rates to 2%, and then next you got an influx of buyers, right? But I appreciate that. Let's segue into the commercial space. You've done some internship for some commercial companies. So at least you haven't sold anything, have not, but you've been on that side as far as the experience, you've been around it. Enlighten us on that world, because and before you answer, a lot of agents, brokers, they get licensed, they get into the business, say, I want to sell commercial. Right? My response is, you have the option to do because you're licensed, but that's a whole different playing field.
Yes.
Intelligence has to be the sophisticated clients. Give us your spin on that.
The commercial world is very different. It's so much more things that go into it, even as it pertains to just showing a client a property. Mm-hmm. Like they have, at least for the company I interned with for the summer, they had different departments doing work all for the broker to get that client. So they had a research department doing all your comps and market research. They had a marketing department putting together the comps and making it look pretty and making listings and things like that. And then they had their development side. So those were the people that did the developments from the ground up and sometimes would sell them to the brokers, right? Then they also had the property management department. And the property management department would try to work with the brokers and say, well, the broker would negotiate with the client. If you get this property, we have a property manager for you.
In-house.
And then they also had the project management department.
Nice.
Working with the brokers to get the clients to get something that might need a little bit of work. But say we have a project management team that's going to help you fix it all. So it was more of a team. It wasn't necessarily an individualistic thing.
Correct.
On top of the fact that those deals take a lot longer to close.
Exactly.
A lot longer to close. And for most companies, they want you to have a lot more education to do things in the commercial realm.
That's why she's doing what she's doing, people. You see she's doing. So go ahead, though.
But me personally, I don't think if I go the commercial realm that I will be a broker.
Okay.
Just because of the fact that it's such a long process.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, it's definitely rewarding once you get
Correct.
to the end.
Correct.
But there's so much that goes into the negotiation between these different companies and things like that I don't think being a commercial broker is the route that I plan to go.
Okay.
But it's very interesting. It's really interesting.
See, I like the fact that you said so many great things there. But it's a lot of moving parts, right? Yeah. That we're unaware of because we say, I got my real estate license. And it's like, but you can get yourself jammed up and the company sued probably. Yeah. You said they work together as a team. That had to be a high-end client, evidently.
It seems like that's how they work with all their clients.
Oh, okay.
Because all their clients technically are high-end.
High-end, basically.
Yeah.
Basically. Okay.
So that's how they work together for literally every client versus on the residential side. You're doing all that work on your own.
Okay.
And it's usually a 30-day turnaround compared to them. It's like a year.
Got you. Yeah. And it's they're putting everything in. But I kind of, as you was talking, I was just envisioning, that's a great concept. Literally have each department prepare something at its highest level. So when we do our presentation, we covering all angles. The property management side, the marketing piece, the project manager, anything. Well, what if I need that? Hey, we got that covered as well. It's very, very smart. I like that. Let me segue over. Somebody watching right now, they see Yentell. Because I'm quite sure on campus, you are like a star, so to speak. Like, in other words, she knew everything. Why not she? Because hold on, let me say it. Because you don't fit the norm on campus.
I realized, yeah.
Exactly. Because everybody, nobody's, well, I don't want to speak for everybody, but you're not the norm on campus. So, what is that, because I'm going somewhere with this. What is that, how do they respond to you? How do people, they look up to you, like, ask questions? Like, what's that like?
At first, it was actually a little overwhelming.
Where's my music at? Oh, no. Yo, listen. You said overwhelming. Wow. But go ahead, though.
Because I am so used to being on my own little road, just doing my own thing.
Okay, gotcha.
And I'm not the one that necessarily likes a lot of public.
Okay.
So it encouraged me to get out of my comfort zone, which is something I definitely need to do as a real estate agent.
Okay.
But I've decided that I was going to use the positive, what's the word I'm looking for? Use the positive feedback that I was getting from my peers to actually teach them about what I do. Mm-hmm. So me and one of my friends, we started a real estate org on campus.
Nice.
So we've so far we've had a very good turnout of members to events and just regular meetings. And we have a lot of...
wait for the invite.
Actually, yes, you do have an invite. Josh was supposed to send it, but he didn't.
Okay.
I'll get that to you.
It's fine.
So I have been working with the students, my peers who are on the executive board with me, on top of working with corporations to come and sponsor events and provide internship opportunities and just like knowledge sessions and things like that. So that's the way.
We looking for an intern?
Need an intern. If you're busy next Thursday,
we're going to talk about that. So I'm serious. I can always use an intern, but go ahead though.
So I've done it to that capacity. Then also speaking with my mentor, he honed on the fact that I'm an entrepreneur, so we don't do anything for free. So I actually have been working on starting this type of, not necessarily a real estate course, but a real estate business course, or a way to simplify real estate for people who want to get involved, and showing them the roadmap that I took.
Exactly.
So that's something that I'm also working on that should be done in the next couple of months.
Yeah, exactly. So, and yes, definitely don't shortchange yourself. Yeah. Now, what I will say, and clearly I don't want to speak for you, but I do know that it will hold a lot of integrity. And the reason why, because there's a lot of courses online. They're trying to take advantage of people, but I know you would make it very simplistic and real knowledgeable. So, like I said,
I've been working really hard on it. So I hope that it turns out in the way that people receive it correctly.
Correct. And
I've had to break down a lot of stuff and chunk it out, because I know, of course, everybody's attention span has decreased so much over time. So I've made
correct.
I made I think the first unit has about like 10 videos, and I tried to keep them all.
Oh, so you're doing this, like talking, and you're
kind of. It's everything has been. There's presentations,
okay.
And I've pre-recorded lectures to go with the presentations,
okay.
But I'm trying to keep each video under 7 minutes, just because we don't have the attention span for it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, the reason why I'm saying it because somebody might look at this and say, "Hey, well, where can I buy that at?"
Yeah. Well,
so it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. So now, tell them exactly what is coming, so they know what's coming.
So I have a real estate business. I don't like that term.
I know.
I have a course that I am creating that will teach, hopefully, people that are interested in starting their own real estate business, most likely between the ages of 18 to 35. And I am walking you through what real estate is, the different types of real estate, some basic real estate terms that I feel like everybody needs to know when you're entering the industry, as well as how to get your license. Of course, I can't speak to every state because
Correct.
Every state is different, and telling you how to find the resources that you need to network and get your first clients, and creating a system to be efficient.
Are you looking to join a winning team? Join us as a broker and receive high-level training, mentorship, and an awesome commission structure. If you're interested, visit www.theheadleygroup.com or call us at 336-904-6212. We look forward to partnering with you.
Now, this is coming from a young lady who's, how old are you?
I'm 20.
20 years old. And how many licenses do you have?
4.
And you currently are in school.
Yes.
See, so now she can speak to clearly that bracket she mentioned, but I would say if you currently is a college student, you might want to definitely reach out to that. What do you say to someone right now that's just looking and says, okay, well, I want to be licensed, but I don't want to do it full time?
I still say do it, because as of right now, I necessarily am not a full-time agent because I have a lot of things on my plate, and I feel like I cannot be the best agent I can be if
Correct.
I can't give my clients the full attention they deserve. So I definitely say still get your license, because the time to start is now.
And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because like I said, if I had to, like I said, just mention me, it was three or 4 years after I got my license, like I still had a job. And then I said, you know something, I'm going all in. Let me see what make happen. And good thing, the man upstairs continued to bless me to kind of continue to move on.
That's how I started.
Really? See that right here.
I was working for this company, and I had an online job.
Okay.
So I was working my online job. I was a student, and I was still working with my clients. And eventually I was like, I'm just going to push and do my real estate stuff.
Nice.
And I left the online job. Of course, I'm still a student.
Correct.
But I did it that way. But it takes some really hard work and determination to make it suffice for what your salary was.
Exactly. What do you say to, again, like we talked, off camera, you're not the average college student in terms of what that avatar looks like. So go to class, then summer break, go back home. You take internships abroad, right? So are you paying for this?
I paid probably like 10-20% of the trip.
10-20%. And the reason why I'm saying this is because somebody might be watching and saying, well, how can I get the hookup?
Well, as a college student, I just want you to know, especially as an HBCU college student, you need to take advantage of every opportunity they provide you with. They have study abroad programs with corporate sponsors that pay for majority of the trip. So I am getting to go to Brazil for 3 weeks. And out of the $6,000, I think I paid about $1,000. On top of the fact that there's a lot of scholarship opportunities available as well. And they have corporate companies coming in every day, every week, trying to recruit a student. So taking advantage of every opportunity that comes, even if you might not be interested, because you're still building a network.
Building a network.
Reach out to your professors, your department chairs, your deans, everybody, because they have a lot of things that can help you get where you want to go, and they're great people to have behind you.
And it makes so much sense because, like you said, you're actually building your network later on, and because people think it's just for right now, but but that can be a blessing as you move on throughout your career. Commercial real estate, you said that more or less is probably not an interest at the moment, right? So do you see yourself taking on a continuous with the real estate career, being a real estate broker, or?
I have 2 routes that I am trying to decipher between.
Okay.
One route, I will work as a consultant for a little while, then go back to school, eventually finish out with my PhD and do real estate consulting.
Okay.
The other route is for me to get my MBA, continue to be an agent.
Nice.
Go and get my PhD, still go the real estate consulting route. I prefer the real estate consulting route because it's the same work that you do as an agent. It's just, regardless,
consistent.
It's very consistent pay, on top of the fact that I feel like that's the best way to advocate on your client's behalf. Because your goal at the end of the day as an agent is to get your client to closing.
That's right.
But as a consultant, your goal is to give them the best possible option that they have on their plate.
So if someone's watching this and they say, well, real estate agent, real estate consultant, what's
so when it comes to any type of consulting work, you work with your client to pretty much solve any of their needs as it pertains to your niche area.
Okay.
So pretty much what you do as an agent, but a real estate agent gets paid when they close.
Correct. Okay.
A real estate consultant gets paid by the hour.
Oh, you see the big difference? That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And one thing we all know in this real estate field is not consistent, right? Real estate does this up and down, and how many people is not really prepared for that. So what do you say to that person who's in school now, or who's in real estate school, or maybe thinking about getting their license? I make a lot of money. I see HGTV and I see these shows, and I think real estate is that.
Mm-hmm. It's not that. It's not that at all. And you have to have a roadmap, because even though the market is changing, that doesn't mean there's not going to be a need for agents. There's just going to be a need for agents in a different capacity. So you need to
like that. Different capacity, really.
So you need to make sure that you're well versed and you're continuing to learn. And
what's wrong?
The thing keeps me hold up.
We got a little technical difficulty. I can say something. Right.
I can hear, but I can hear myself.
Technical difficulty,
okay,
people.
Right there. Perfect. Good. Yes.
Wow. We got a short.
Oh no, I like it like this. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. We're a little technical difficulty. We will continue on.
What was the question?
The question was: is HGTV people watch HGTV think real estate is like that when they get their real estate license? You said it's not.
It's not.
You gotta have a game plan.
You need to have a game plan. Mm-hmm. And what I've realized from my experience is that even though you're an entrepreneur, you still need to have a set schedule and operating procedures, because you're providing a service. So that service has to be consistent. Mm-hmm. And you need to remember a lot of different things. So I think it's very important to have a system and to continue to learn, because the market's ever changing. You might have started when the market was amazing, like I did.
Correct.
And now the market is not that great.
That's this.
So you need to learn how to be efficient and to be your best and still be closing deals regardless of how the market is.
Correct. And to translate, let me tell you what she's saying. You make $1, put 20 cents up. Put some money to the side, because when things do get slow, and they will, and it just happens, right? You got some money to fall back on. There's nothing wrong. I know we mentioned the job thing. There's nothing wrong with having a job and selling real estate. And then one day you will know that, hey, I'm going full time.
And I also think another important thing is not to just be a real estate agent.
There we go.
Because I think my dad learned this lesson early on. Mm-hmm. Because at first he just was a real estate agent, and then he experienced huge crisis of 2008. Mm-hmm. And that's when he came back in a couple years later and shifted his model of the way he ran his business and went more of the real estate consulting route, went the real estate investor route.
That's the route. Gotcha.
But then still continued to be a real estate agent.
Exactly. So it's like adding additional to it. Actually, we asked our last guest this yesterday. Hopefully the question right here doesn't make you feel uncomfortable or anything, but in terms of race and discrimination, being a woman, being a black woman, do you think we all know it exists, but have you had any experience, or someone, and what do you tell someone watching to kind of how to deal with that?
For me personally, being that I'm from the DMV area, at first that wasn't really something I experienced. I experienced more of an ageism because I was 18. I tried to hide my age most of the time.
Really?
Wearing masks and then the glasses and the blazer.
Yeah, you know that. So you was 18, you probably was looking like 16.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right, gotcha. Yeah.
So, that's why something that my aunt always tells me, she tells me knowledge is power. So that's why I'm very big on education and continuing to learn, because they can't take from you what you know.
That's right.
And you know what you know, and they need to know what you know. So if you are smart enough, they can't count you out. But as it pertains to being in North Carolina, things are very different.
How so? Talk about it.
Race is a very big thing in the South. It's a very big thing.
Yeah.
And as it pertains to commercial real estate as well, it's a very big thing. I mean, it's not very as apparent, but you might be the only one in the room.
Gotcha.
But that's when it comes to the terms of, is this what you want to do? Because if this is what you want to do, you have to push past it and get comfortable being uncomfortable. So it just depends on the mindset that you have about it. But of course, there's certain things that you should not have to go through, and you have to know when it's not okay. But I know what my goals are.
Correct.
So I do what I need to do to get where I want to be.
Exactly. And again, we ask this question not for an excuse or to justify anything, but I hate doing the elephant. We know some of us experience it, right? Or we may possibly experience it in the future, but how to deal with that. I just want to get your spin on it. But she hit us with something, ageism. So, and she said something powerful with the knowledge her aunt gave her. Have knowledge and be professional, because you can kill them, so to speak, with kindness. You can kill them with professionalism. You can kill them with being nice. And they be like, you know something? She young, but she know what she's talking about. And the last
my goal.
word, right?
Yeah.
And the last thing you need is not having the knowledge of knowing what you're talking about, right? So that's how you kind of offset that. Kudos to you on that. Yentell, we are wrapping things up because I know you're busy. I know you got to take care of all these classworks and all that good stuff. 2 golden nuggets. We ask every guest, script, quote, scripture, book, something you've seen that inspired you. Give it to the peoples.
I actually have this quote that is the screensaver on my laptop.
Okay.
And it says, a genius is not born, but they're educated. So that's my quote for you guys today. As it pertains to a book, because I've actually been very heavy into reading.
Well, let me say that. She literally passed on 2 books for us, which I've completed, but thank you for that. And actually, we pass it on here to the team, but you don't have to mention the book. I just had to say that, yes.
I have a lot of different books that I'm reading right now. Most of them are as it pertains to bettering my business or self-development books. A very popular book that everybody knows about is Atomic Habits.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you are having trouble figuring out where to start to do whatever that you want to do, whether it be starting a real estate business or going back to school, whatever it is for you, I feel like Atomic Habits is a really great book to read on how to push yourself and create positive habits.
Nice. So I got to ask you this last question here. I think I asked you this before. Because again, I'm still, every time when I interview the first time, I'm like, the mindset at 20, I wasn't thinking about that, but the mindset is about growth, becoming better. Did that start from home?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm a military brat. So both my parents were in the military, and my mom is Caribbean. So it's
got you.
From my mom's side, it's a very heavy emphasis on education.
Gotcha.
And as it pertains to both sides, it's a very heavy emphasis on hard work. So regardless, you have to work hard and you have to be smart and you have to remember that you need to represent yourself,
correct,
your family, and God in a positive manner. So.
See that? Wow, nice. Listen, so many great jewels and insights from our very own here, Miss Yentell, who will continue to do great things. We wish you the best on your endeavor to great success. And again, we like you here with the family at Headley Group Realty. Thank you all. And we're going to see you all next time on the Headley Group Real Estate Show. You got any last words you want to hit people with?
That's it.
With Instagram and all, even though
sure. Well,
more technical difficulty.
Yes, again. But if you guys like to follow me on Instagram, my business page is Yentell James the Realtor. My name is spelled Yentell. That's all I got for you guys.
Listen, we're going to see you all next time on the Headley Group Real Estate Show. You all take care. Hey, gang, I hope you really enjoyed that show. Our guests provide us some great tips and insight, and please support them on all social media platforms. And while I'm saying that, support us on all social media platforms. And don't forget, watch the entire video on YouTube. We'll see you next time.